What would you do with a colossal pile of scrap metal weighing 1.2 million pounds, over 600 tons, that has been left exposed to the elements, clinically dead for half a century? Most of us would call a scrapyard, but a massive corporation decided to pour millions of dollars into it, a secret figure that has never been officially disclosed, just to do something that sounds utterly insane. Wake it up. In 2014, the entire American nation held its breath, and many even shed tears, witnessing the corpse of Big Boy 4014, one of the 25 largest steam locomotives ever built in human history, being dragged along a 1,390-mile journey from California to Wyoming. The scene was romantic, majestic, and truly epic. The press called it honoring heritage, a grand epic of the industrial age. But let's pause for a beat. Once the applause in the press has faded and the tears of nostalgia have dried, a cold question must be asked. Why would a ruthless capitalist transportation empire like Union Pacific, which meticulously calculates every penny of profit on every mile of track, suddenly become so romantic? The truth is, colossal machines like the Big Boy are not just engineering marvels. They are also brilliant tools of psychological manipulation. By reviving a nostalgic icon, Union Pacific engineered the greatest PR campaign in railway history, a perfect media shield to mask the harsh realities of the present: market monopolies, mass layoffs, and the brutal cost-cutting pressures of automation. People were so busy waving at a grand ghost of the past that they forgot that right now on modern tracks, trains are getting longer while maintenance crews are being slashed to alarming levels. And peeling back the layers doesn't stop there. Behind the velvet curtain of this resurrection, certain technical truths have been subtly whitewashed. During the restoration, the media ceaselessly praised the upgrading of Big Boy 4014's firebox to use fuel oil number 5 instead of its original coal, dubbing it a sustainable and eco-friendly step forward. But if you dig deep into the realities of the petrochemical industry, you'll find that number 5 fuel oil is actually the foulest, thickest, and most pungent bottom-of-the-barrel sludge from the refining process, emitting a massive amount of greenhouse gases and impurities on par with coal. This conversion was entirely devoid of any green agenda. It stemmed from pure economics. Sourcing locomotive-grade high-quality coal and hiring a grueling crew of coal shovelers in this day and age is simply too expensive and troublesome. Monster 4014 is still a monster. It merely switched from chewing black rocks to drinking black sludge under the guise of faux innovation. Yet, despite the money-scented high-level schemes and glossy PR facades, there is another undeniable truth. A deeply authentic truth, drenched in sweat. The restoration of Big Boy 4014 revealed a fierce battle between 1940s mechanical engineering and the limits of current technology. It is where modern metallurgical science, SAE 5160 alloy, had to intervene to reforge leaf springs capable of bearing 18,000 pounds, and where mechanics had to crawl into suffocating steel lungs, using bare hands and ultrasonic waves to battle 500 rusted stay bolts. Today, we aren't just going to watch a sugar-coated documentary designed to lull you into nostalgia. Join me in cracking open the Big Boy 4014 files, stepping into the most grueling mechanical operating room in America, to witness the true cost of turning back the clock, and to answer the ultimate question: who actually breathed life back into this magnificent machine? Leaving behind the red-carpeted boardrooms and press releases polished with flowery rhetoric, The truth about the rebirth of Big Boy 4014 does not lie in marketing blueprints. It resides in the Cheyenne Steam Shop in Wyoming, a space with no room for romance or applause. When the 600-ton corpse was dragged in here, the Cheyenne shop was no longer a heritage sanctuary. It transformed into the most brutal industrial mechanical operating room in America. From the very first scalpel strike, the machine displayed its arrogant pride. To accommodate this colossal block of steel, they had to demolish the entire old roof of the repair shop. A massive overhead crane system with a 40-ton lifting capacity was engineered and installed for one sole purpose: to hoist the severed, fleshy chunks of the past. But the true tragedy of turning back the clock only began when the mechanics stepped into the monster's lungs. There were no reporters' camera flashes, nor the cheers of railway enthusiasts. Inside the boiler of 4014 was a cramped, pitch-black space, reeking of rust and the decay of time. We often view steam engines through the lens of poetic nostalgia, but the reality inside 4014's boiler was a brutal sentence of exhausting labor. Modern mechanics had to crawl through suffocating spaces, using ultrasonic probes to map every millimeter of corroded metal. With bare hands, blowtorches, and primal muscular strength, they had to cut, chisel, and replace nearly 500 stay-bolts that had fossilized into the boiler walls. Every single bolt wrenched out was a grueling physical battle, a stripping away of the illusion that the old industrial era was a beautiful picture. In truth, it was a meat grinder fueled by the sweat and bone of the anonymous working class. And if the lungs of 4014 were a nightmare, its legs were the collapse of blind faith. We always harbor the romantic prejudice that they built things better and more durable back in the day. Yet, upon dismantling Big Boy 4014's suspension system, engineers discovered that the original leaf springs, once hailed as the pinnacle of 1940s metallurgical engineering, were completely cracked and shattered. The greatness of the past had to bow in surrender to the ravages of time. For the machine to stand firm once again, classical engineering was forced to step back, making way for modern science. Metallurgical engineers had to utilize SAE 5160 alloy, a modern steel with superior resilience, to reforge each individual leaf spring before subjecting them to a proof load press with pressures up to 18,000 pounds. The resurrection of 4014, ironically, stands as a testament to the fact that modern technology had to intervene to patch up the flaws of history. Finally, after tens of thousands of hours of frantic labor, Judgment Day arrived. On February 6, 2019, the hydrostatic pressure test began. The boiler was filled with water, and the gauge needle crept up to 375 pounds per square inch, PSI. The atmosphere hung heavy, suffocatingly silent. No cracks, no leaks. The monster's scars had healed. On April 9, 2019, the first fire was lit in the firebox, albeit using No. 5 sludge oil instead of coal. After 60 years of silence in the grave of oblivion, the hisses, the crackling pops, and the groans of expanding steel resonated like a guttural symphony returning from the dead. On May 1st, Big Boy 4014 rolled under its own power for the first time. Its whistle tore through the Wyoming sky, shattering all doubts. Union Pacific may have spent millions of dollars to buy a grand PR spectacle. The elite might puff out their chests in pride over a shrewd commercial chess move that masks the turbulences of the modern era. But down here on the ground, amidst the stench of machine oil and billowing steam, the miracle is real. That miracle wasn't born from checkbooks. It was forged from the blood, sweat, and intellect of the mechanics. The people who truly used their bare hands to drag a 600-ton legend back to life from the ashes. But as Big Boy 4014 proudly rolled out of the Cheyenne shop, leaving behind the dark days of the operating room, it did not step into a world it once belonged to. It stepped into an alien world, where the rules had been completely rewritten. There is an ironic paradox that Union Pacific's advertising campaigns always cleverly ignore. Today's Big Boy 4014 is running on a railway system that no longer has room for analog, purely mechanical machines. A monster designed to be operated by manual valves, steam pressure, and the intuition of the engineer now faces the Positive Train Control (PTC) system, a massive digital safety network monitored by GPS, satellites, and computers, capable of automatically braking any train that violates speed limits. This intersection is not romantic in the slightest. It is like forcing a Roman gladiator to fight by the rules of an esports game. For 4014 to be allowed to roll on the National Rail Network, engineers had to secretly implant microchips, sensors, and GPS antennas deep inside its antiquated steel shell. Furthermore, during its cross-country tours, 4014 rarely does everything on its own. Hitched right behind it is always a modern diesel locomotive, typically an SD70M or SD70AH. The media calls this a braking and kinetic support machine, but the naked truth is that diesel locomotive is the electronic brain that helps 4014 communicate with the modern PTC system, doubling as a safe backup plan. It is a harsh historical compromise. The glory of the past can only be flaunted when quietly backed by the technology of the present. Even so, as the colossal train embarked on the Great Race Tour, those technical truths were quickly eclipsed by the intense emotions of the crowd. Suit-clad executives stood smiling in the VIP cars, harvesting the sweet fruits of media coverage, polishing the corporation's name. But to the millions of people standing along the tracks, the upper echelon calculations meant absolutely nothing. The true power of 4014 does not lie in static photos or dry horsepower numbers on Wikipedia. Its power lies in its violent physical impact on the surrounding environment. When this 600-plus-ton block of steel glides by at 40 miles per hour, it creates a miniature earthquake. You don't just see the big boy, you feel it in your bones and joints. The tyrannical heartbeat of its four massive cylinder groups transmits through the ground, reverberating straight into the viewer's chest, while the scorching heat radiating from the boiler rips through the frigid air. It is a primal, brutal, and mesmerizing sensory experience that no 4K video or state-of-the-art virtual reality technology could ever replicate. It reminds modern humans of an era when power could be seen, touched, smelled, and forced people to tremble in awe, rather than invisible lines of code running silently on cloud servers. So ultimately, stripping away all the velvet curtains of PR, brushing aside the environmental deceits and electronic minor surgeries, what does Big Boy 4014 truly represent? Why should America, and the whole world, care about resurrecting a relic of the past? The answer lies in rebellion. In a modern world increasingly obsessed with the concept of planned obsolescence, where $1,000 smartphones are tossed away after just 2 or 3 years, and cars become useless piles of electronic junk the moment a touchscreen fails, Big Boy 4014 stands tall as a blunt slap in the face to the disposable consumer culture. It is an eternal testament to an extinct engineering philosophy, built to last. It was forged in the fiery red furnaces of World War II, discarded and left to rust for 50 years, but the moment mechanics touched it with wrenches, blowtorches, and patience, it breathed again. It will never be a perfect machine. It is dirty, noisy, and costly, but its existence hauls something more precious than any freight: humanity's immortal aspiration to forge legacies that can defy the decay of time. Big Boy 4014 is not just a locomotive. It is a sweat-drenched monument, reminding us that, once upon a time, humanity built things that simply refused to die. In conclusion, as we stand watching the colossal silhouette of Big Boy 4014 fade into the horizon, trailing clouds of white steam mixed with thick black oil smoke, we are essentially witnessing the convergence of two parallel worlds. One is a world of million-dollar media blueprints, where dapper, suit-clad Union Pacific executives raise their glasses to a flawless PR chess move, successfully using a ghost of the past to soften the public's scrutinizing gaze regarding ruthless layoffs and monopolies on modern tracks. But the other world, the world lying beneath those layers of glossy black paint and that nostalgic whistle, is an entirely different story. That is the world of blood, sweat, and calluses. The resurrection of 4014 is not a random miracle, but a brutal epic of human labor. The mechanics at the Cheyenne shop had to pay the price with tens of thousands of suffocating work hours, crawling inside pitch-black boilers, using primal muscle to confront the decay of time. They are the true wizards who cast the spell to bring this 600-ton machine back to life. They represent a quality that is slowly going extinct, the ability to understand, control, and conquer colossal physical barriers with their own bare hands. So why do millions of Americans, and even us sitting in front of our screens right now, feel a strange resonance, a fierce urge when witnessing this machine roll by? The answer lies in a bitter truth about the era we live in. We are trapped in an age of fragility and a throwaway culture. $1,000 smartphones are programmed to lag after 3 years. Modern high-tech locomotives sometimes have to sit idle just because of a minor software glitch on a circuit board. Modern society is built on the philosophy of planned obsolescence, where everything is born to be discarded. In that suffocating context, the rough, noisy, and fiery presence of Big Boy 4014 delivers a powerful slap to that consumerist ideology. It stands there, towering like an eternal monument to the built-to-last philosophy. It reminds us that there was once an era when the railway industry built things so proud that they absolutely refused to die. The whistle of 4014 tearing through the sky is not just the sound of steam escaping a pressure valve. It is the scream of a glorious past reclaiming its rightful place in an increasingly invisible world. When you feel the tyrannical heartbeat of that massive engine echoing straight into your chest, you are not just watching a train. You are touching the heartbeat of industrial history. But ladies and gentlemen, the intricate railway network stretching across continents consists of more than just Big Boy 4014. It is an empire of iron and steel, and like any empire, it is built upon countless buried secrets. If a rusted machine like 4014 can be resurrected to become a brilliant PR card, what do you think about the legends that were mercilessly put to death? Where did the streamlined steam locomotives, bearing the most magnificent Art Deco beauty of the 1930s, disappear to? And why were they melted down into scrap metal overnight without a single museum having the chance to speak up? Or fast forward to the present. Behind the colossal 3-mile-long freight trains plowing through America day and night under the Precision Scheduled Railroading (PSR) model, what ticking time bombs are lying in wait to threaten small towns? And what dark secrets of the last century's trade wars are kept within the locomotive graveyards hidden deep in nameless forests or at the bottom of lakes? Railway history is not just about tranquil, scenic rides looking out the window. It is about fierce battles of power, of engineering, and of the most ruthless decisions. If you are someone passionate about the power of iron and steel, yet never satisfied with the spoon-fed truths in the headlines. If you want to join me in wielding the hammer of critical thinking to crack open the glossy facades of transportation conglomerates, then our journey on these tracks has only just begun. Look up at your screen right now. There are other hidden corners, other investigative files about the railway world waiting to be opened. Click on the video appearing on your screen right now to join me as we continue this train of truth. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because on this channel, we don't just watch trains, we dissect them to their very core. Goodbye, and see you at the next station.